Growing up with Latino parents has been nothing but an adventure, right from the get-go. You heard that I got introduced as Daniel Larranaga. My actual name is Juan Daniel Larranaga. I go by Daniel because my dad's name is Juan, my older brother's name is Juan, and my younger brother's name is Juan. So it was kind of hard to find out which one was the right one. However, in primary school, I was sort of okay, because I wasn't the only one with a foreign name. I went to school with a girl called Tutran and another girl called Tweed Don. So between the three of us, we were 1, 2, and Tweed. For some reason, this Latino kid always stood out more than anybody else. You know, all the kids had these beautiful brand new clothes, uniforms, with polished up black Clark shoes. Not this Latino kid. I had second-hand clothes, brown Jesus-like sandals, and a poncho. What were my parents thinking? A poncho. And that wasn't the end of it. Come lunchtime, we were sitting around in a circle, and all the kids had their beautiful little lunch boxes with Spider-Man and Batman and Smurfs, and a piece of fruit and sultanas and sandwiches chopped up in triangles and squares with Vegemite and peanut butter. Like this Latino kid. I got this big continental roll with mortadella, salami, tomato cheese. There was nothing worse than hearing my teacher say, "You can't go and play until you finish your lunch." That was primary school. Then came high school. High school became independent, self-esteem, autonomy, and all of the kids were playing rugby league and AFL. Not this Latino kid. I played soccer. We had no choice. So I went up to my mum. My mum's name was Teresa. I went up to mum and I said, "Mum, I want to play rugby league like my friends." She goes, "No, Danny, because you're too skinny." So that was my self-esteem going down the gurgler. And then school holidays. What school holidays? There was no school holidays. My school holidays was at my dad's workshop. My dad was a furniture restorer, so he basically stripped furniture back, sanded it, polished it up, and made it new again. And it sounded quite sad having to work on school holidays, but for us boys, Juan and myself, we were actually quite entertained by just listening to my dad. My dad had this customer called Andre, and for some reason, Latinos seem to change names, English names into Spanish names. So his name was Andre, but he called him Andres. So us boys were thinking, "Oh, Andres." Oh, he used to wind you up and he used to get angry, eh? And then he was with Andres, he was trying to figure out a bit of a quote. And so Dad said to him, "Well, if you're stripping, I make cheaper for you. But if I stripping, it's a little bit more expensive." So we're thinking, Andres, stripping? Oh, yes. So, and it was quite entertaining. So we made it quite entertaining. And then came that moment when Dad said to me, "Son, I want you to take over the business." So I was the chosen one. But I had other ideas. Originally I wanted to become a pharmacist, but that was a little bit too cliche for a Latino who wanted to sell drugs to the public. So I decided to become a nurse, because I like caring for people. But when I wanted to become a nurse, my dad was a bit worried, because he thought that was a woman's job. So he comes up to me and says, "Danny, how come you have no girlfriend?" And I said, "Dad, between me and you, if you could just ask Mum to stop putting so much garlic in my food, I might have half a solution." But one day, I actually did bring a girl home. She wasn't a girlfriend, she was just a friend. And she had a little boy called Zach. And I remember Zach goes up to my dad and he goes, "I'm Zach." But Latinos, they can't say the Z sound. So Dad goes to him, "You suck." I I knew from that day on that if I ever had a boy, I was never going to call it Zach, Isaac, or Andre. Despite all the trials and tribulations growing up in a Latino family, if I could ever live it again, I would do it exactly the same. With my younger brother Juan, my older brother Juan, my dad Juan, and my beautiful, loving mother Teresa.